Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I am happy to be here to actually explain to you guys on what I'm going to be doing today. As you can see my tools, you actually will be guessing right now. That's exactly what she's going to talk about. That is quite true. So today we're actually going to talk about sewing tools for beginners. Because there are beginners, they will be thinking, oh, what do we need in order to start sewing. So today actually I'm going to show you guys. You don't really need much. Every household has ironing board. Every household has iron and ironing board. That's one thing you need. And every household has scissors. You have scissors. So, and we're going to talk about this kind of scissors. Then you have measuring tape. You don't even have to be seamstress to have measuring tape at home. Okay, so you need a needle. That is for your sewing machine. This type of needles that you need for sewing machine. Of course, you need thread, and you need this. This one is called what is this called again? It's called the seam ripper. Alright, so you need pins, and of course you need rulers. Also you need this ruler. So I'm going to explain everything one by one to you, why all these things are essential. And also you need, as a beginner, you need sewing machine, and you need that is sewing machine, exactly. Okay. Alright, so as a matter of fact, if you are buying a sewing machine, let's start with sewing machine first. Sewing machine, it is very sewing machine is good. Sewing machine, when you want to sew your project, you can use your sewing machine. However, when you want to sew, sometimes you do have what is called you can use hand to sew your project and things like that. But to be more easier and faster, then you use sewing machine to sew your projects. But sewing machine, actually you can control the stitches that you want to actually use when you are putting your fabric together. But one thing with sewing machine is, as a beginner, there is no need for you to invest on a sewing machine that is very expensive. No, because if you buy most expensive machine, and sometimes this machine are also complicated to use, but then as a beginner you can get frustrated. You don't want to do anything anymore with sewing machine. So that is why it is better for you to just have a simple sewing machine, because you are just starting to learn. You want to really know how to sew some simple project. And because you don't really know what you want, you are just starting. So when you go and buy a sewing machine of €1,000, €2,000, 4,000, that can do different kinds of things for you, but you don't use it, you just waste your money. So it's better to buy a simple sewing machine. So as time goes on, you are getting used to your work, you love your project, then you can buy a little bit, little by little you can buy a bit nicer machine, the one that will give you more functions, then you can do more projects, like machine that can actually help you to embroider some things on your projects. Right. So that is for sewing machine. Alright, and then of course you need pins. Let me show you this. You need pins like this. You need pins, and pins actually you can have different sizes on the pins, and you can have bigger ones, you can have smaller ones. It's actually different sizes. You can as well use other kind of pins like what they used to. If you have a very light fabric, you can use that to actually um, pin that. Let me show you what I mean. Well, you can use all these type of pegs to actually as well pin your work. They have also smaller sizes on it. They also have a bigger sizes on it. So you can use any of this to actually pin your fabric. So when you have the fabric that are very thin, like satin or very thin fabric, you don't want to use your pins to actually spoil your fabric. So you can use something like this. Right. So now we're going to talk about scissors. It's very good to have scissors. Scissors are very essential for your sewing project. Because fabric scissors are heavier. For instance, I have this fabric scissors. As you can see, this fabric scissors has a kind of a zigzag teeth, so it will enable me to actually cut if I didn't want to actually zigzag my work or overlock. I will use these scissors to actually do it. And I have these scissors as well, so just simple. And this type of fabric scissors, they are more heavier than ordinary scissors, you know. So I always like to have my fabric scissors. I can put my scissors in one drawer. The reason is the color differentiates. You see, my fabric scissors, it is has a black handle. This is my paper scissors. I use this to cut my papers if I am drafting my pattern or I draw out my project I'm going to do. I will use this to actually cut it. So I can put it in one place. It doesn't really matter because the color differentiates the scissors that I have. So these are fabric scissors, these paper scissors. And when you are buying scissors in the market, make sure that your scissors, make sure it's more heavy because fabric scissors are heavier than paper scissors or normal scissors, as you could say. And also, I have these scissors as well. So this one has a black handle, but it doesn't really matter. I also have other colors, but the reason it doesn't matter to me if it is black handle or not because it is a small scissors. See, and this muscle you cannot use it to cut fabric, so it is logical for me anyway. It doesn't matter what type of color it is. So because when you are sewing, you can just use one to cut off your thread, you know, the excess thread. Although my sewing machine cuts my thread when I'm sewing, and but in order for you to cut extra excess thread off, you need this. You need this. Okay, so this that is for that. So when you go to the fabric store or you go to the market to buy a scissors, you watch out on your scissors. The fabric scissors is more heavier than normal scissors. Okay, and so we have this. This is the seam ripper. You see this cycles. Normally when you have sewing machine, all these two come with your sewing machine. But sometimes when you are using it, you can just misplace it, you can lose it. But it's always nice to have couple of these at your sewing tools. Okay, this is very good because this is your best friend. This is your best friend. Because anytime you are making a project, whether you are professional or you are beginner or whatever it is, you make mistakes. You can, because you are so busy, you may get tired and then you sew something the wrong side, you know. And so, you know, nobody is perfect. You can always make a mistake. That is why this come handy. This is your best friend. Don't lose it. Always have this. So when you make mistake, you can just use it to lose it out and then off you go. When you finish, you close it off, put it in your sewing box. Alright. So the next thing we're going to talk about now is actually measuring tape. This is my measuring tape. This measuring tape I have, this is a long measuring tape I have. It's very long. So I decided to have this because when I want to measure something long, I have this long measuring tape to do it. See, this to 120 inches, 120 inches, and it has both sides measuring numbers. This side is centimeter, cm, and this side is inches. So it's very good to have proper measuring tapes because then to make your work more accurate. Because what I found out not long ago is that tapes measure are very different, very different. You can get some tape in different countries. You try to compare the measuring tape to what you have here in Europe. It is totally different. It's not the same. That's what I have discovered myself. So you have to be very careful when you buy tape. Make sure you buy your tape in the country where you live, and so you can just compare if they are the same. The reason is that when you have a tape measure from another country and they are not really corresponding with what you have here, and someone will tell you, oh, just measure yourself. Okay, measure yourself, and you use that tape measure that the person has there to measure herself and give you the measurement. And you are here in Europe or wherever you may be, you are now using your tape from where you live to measure the measurement numbers that the person gives to you. But in that case, it might be too big or it's too small. So it's actually sometimes it's a risk when you are making a project for someone and the person is not in, it doesn't live in the country where you live, and so we use different tape measures to actually do it. And most of the time, because these tape measures are quite different, the project you are making for someone else might be as well too small. So in that case, you have to use your discretion actually to measure. If you are making projects for those abroad or anywhere else apart from your country where you live, you have to be very careful, and so that your project will not be too tight or too big. Well, that is just an advice though. Alright, so that is that one. So the next thing we're going to actually talk about is the needle. So we're going to talk about, now let me see the thread. Okay, thread first, and we're going to talk about thread. And thread is actually very important. Thread are important. It is very important to buy good quality thread when you are making your fabric. Especially when you have sewing machine, there are really classic sewing machines that you can use. And if you have that, go to the fabric store and ask them to give you a proper sewing thread. I remember when I years back, that was just before the COVID happened. So I have this very nice classic sewing machine I bought. So I wanted to. I was busy with my oldest daughter wedding dress. So what happened is that I bought this fancy sewing machine, powerful. That is why I bought it, so I can sew a project, because the project I was working on was actually quite thick. So I need that machine to actually help me to sew that dress. So I bought that dress. I bought that machine. And so I came home. Then I was just using my old thread actually to to um to use on that machine. And so my goodness, actually I got into trouble with that machine because after I finished that project of my daughter's wedding dress, and then the machine was having issues and it just stopped working. And so I have no idea what was the problem. So I took it to the dealer where I bought the machine. So he opened it and he discovered that inside the machine, which I cannot see, there are a lot of thread that actually accumulated there. The reason is the thread, they were so they break off all the time, and the thread are not strong enough for that particular machine. I've been using all those threads, but yes, I use a lot of threads. I've just, when I finish my project, I keep it there because the machine I was using was not as powerful as that machine. But just a normal machine, just like a hobby machine I was just using. And so now I decided to buy this professional machine because of the project I was working on. And I was actually now making project crazy for customers. So I need a proper machine. So but those threads that I was using, they were not really strong enough for that machine. And so because I was wondering as well, why is the thread breaking off all the time? But they were just breaking off, and inside was full actually with dust, a lot of dust of the thread, and breakage of the thread was terrible. And so the guy told me, you know what, I'm going to fix it for you, but you got to pay me. You got to pay for it because it's a mistake. But anyway, I didn't say much about that. I said, you know what, it's okay, it's fine. I'm happy that he looked at it because the guy is a nice guy. Most of the time, the guy would just look at you at my sewing machine, don't even take anything. So this time, I think he really found it terrible that I used the wrong thread and I spoiled my expensive machine, you know. And so I paid for it and everything. I came home. So from there on, he told me this is the type of thread you should be using. You just ask that the type of thread you need, which project you are making, they will just give you the right thread. And also sometimes when you go to the fabric store, you see a lot of thread and things like that, fancy thread, but then you can choose any color that match your outfit. But sometimes it can be embroidery thread for embroidery machine. So this guy told me, when I wanted to buy the thread, he told me, say, hey, don't buy that thread. It's nice, fit your outfit, but it is for embroidery machine. So I bought it anyway because I have embroidery machine. So I use that on my embroidery machine, and I use this type of thread on my sewing machine. So just ask questions when you are there. Don't prove yourself that you know it all and things like that. Just talk to the people working there. They are really, really willing to help you to choose your thread for your machine and for your right project. Yeah. So that is that. That is for that. And also, the next thing you need in your sewing machine, it is this needle. You have different sizes. So you have different sizes. So when you just go to your store, your fabric store, ask them for sewing machine needles. Well, with this type of needles, you can use it for like sewing machines, you know, even your embroidery machines, you can use it. Even your overlocker, you can use it for your overlock machine. So that is it. So you don't have all those different kinds of needles that different needle for different machine. No. all this you can use it. But the thing is that you have to watch out what project are you making. For instance, this is for jeans 130/705H. This is jeans. This is specifically made for jeans. You can have from 80 to 100 sizes. So this is it because these are stronger for jeans. So other dinner fabric can be very strong, so you use this for that. Alright. So apart from that, you can use the rest of the needles, but then you have to watch out what fabric are you working on. Are they thick? What type of fabric is that? So then in that case, here is number 70, 80 to 90. That is it. So you can choose the type of needle that you will use for your fabric. The same thing here. This is the same. They're the same number. These are the same. This is the same. But the thing is, this one has just 5. This has 5. Alright. So, and this one has a bit more. Yeah, so this has more. So it's the same. So that is it. For the needles, it is very important for you to get the right needles. But if you don't get the right needles, the needles will be when you are busy with your project, it will break all the time. Your work will not be easy for you to do. So it's very important to have a proper needles, because when you don't have proper needle, yeah, your work will not be nice and your sewing machine will give you much problem. So that's why I do use this particular brand. Okay. Well, that is it. I'm not paying to say that, but due to experience I have with this brand, that's why I buy this brand. So that is what I want. And so, okay, this is also like measuring tape. This measuring tape. See, here is inches, and here is centimeter. So, but what I normally do with this, is to, this ruler is very nice when you are making your pattern, and then you want to have kind of shape. Let's say you want to have armhole like this, so you can just easily put it like that. You just draw your armhole, or the neck area. Want to draw your neckline, maybe at the back. You just do it like this. You draw it. So that is why this one is very handy. Or when you want to make your, let's say you are making a jacket, you just want to have a little bit of curve, then you can just use this. You can like this. You can just use it and draw a line. So it is, because you can see. So this is very nice. So I love this. I've been using this to draw my patterns, like making a armhole, making a neckline, or a jacket, a little bit curvy. So I use this even when I'm busy with making a skirt. I use this for the waistband. So if I want my waist skirt to have a little bit shape like this, at the top, I use this to make that shape. So this is really very nice, but you don't have to have it. But I think for me it is more easier for me to have this and use. So you can get this in the website. You can get this in Amazon, AliExpress, or any of the websites. You can even get it in your local store, fabric store. You can get it. All these items that I show you, you can easily get them at a local store, a fabric market, even scissors. You can get it to buy in anywhere, but make sure you get it in your fabric store, because the fabric scissors is from the fabric store. Okay. So all those things you can get. Iron, you can get in any store. Ironing board, you can get in any store. But as a beginner, it is better for you. You don't have to invest too much money on all those things. You can get your ironing machine in your. Everybody has ironing machine, I guess. But you can go to second-hand store and get small ironing machine, but this is quite big, but because I love this. So you can get small one, whatever you want. Anybody can as well get second-hand machine. Um, Anybody can get second-hand ironing board in the store. And also the sewing machine nowadays, you don't even have to, as a beginner, you don't have to invest your money into a new product. You can go to the store where there's a fabric store or a specific store where they sell sewing machine. They have a lot of good sewing machines that you can buy and try. Even for €100, dollars, you can just get simple sewing machine to buy in the store. So you can try it. If you like it, if you want to go into it, then you can save your money to invest into a proper sewing machine. But however, have a good scissors. Alright? So these are the 7 tools I started to talk about that actually you must have as a beginner. So as time goes on, if you want to even have more details on the tools that I use, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube video that I already created to show you guys the tools that I use. So if you want to embroider your tools, your tool bags, you can watch that. But for now, this is all what you need as a beginner. Okay, so yeah, that is it. Oh, this is this as well. You need this chalk to mark your work. So that is this also, you need it. Oh, this will make it like 8 points. Alright. Okay, so that is it for now. So I would say I enjoy going through all this for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So I hope it is helpful to you as a beginner. And remember, practice makes perfect. Just go ahead and get your tools and practice any project that you feel like doing. Okay? And I will say, well, have a good day wherever you may be. Over here, the weather is nice and bright, sunny. There is no stormy weather today, so I'm definitely going to enjoy my day today. So I wish the same thing for you guys. Enjoy your day wherever you may be, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.